Thank you, everyone, for joining us today for our Zen Peacemakers Members Circle. And my name is Jeff O'Keefe. I'm the Executive Director of Zen Peacemakers. And um, hopefully everyone here is a member of Zen Peacemakers. If not, please do go to the website and join us. Free and no obligations, and there are no secret handshakes in order to join. So, um, I know Peter Cunningham is on the screen somewhere. I don't see you, Peter, but I wanted to first off thank Peter for uh, probably just about 2 weeks ago, maybe, alerting us to the work that Kanzeon Sangha is doing in Warsaw and copying Orina, and maybe it was 3 weeks, I'm not sure. Um, but because of Peter's sharing that information, normally we take 2 or 3 months to put on an event like this because we need to promote and set dates, and our calendar is usually fairly full. But we moved really quickly and we scheduled this event in a matter of a couple of days. And many thanks to uh, Orina Krajewska, who helped get the information, pick a date, and get us to where we are today. So I wanted to recognize the people who helped do this. And then on our staff, Jim Hoden Fricker, who's helping run the event today, did the technical side. So that's why we're here today. So we are, in fact, here today in order to not listen to me, but to listen to Orina and Andre talk about the work that the B Foundation, the Małgosia Braunek B Foundation, and the Kanzeon Sangha in Warsaw are doing to help buy or collect or gather medical supplies and to move them precariously, dangerously, I'm sure, into Ukraine to help support people who are in need there, as well as to help house the Orina just told me the number just a little bit ago, 1.5, 1.7 million Ukrainian refugees that are in Poland alone right now, and that number is going up by about 100,000 a day. So I'm going to mute myself. I will introduce my friend Orina Krajewska, who is in charge of the B Foundation and will tell us about what's going on in Poland and by extension in Ukraine. And we want to make sure that we also share a means to donate. We're here to share information and to lend spiritual support to our friends in Warsaw who are doing this essential peacemaker work, but we also want to support in a very material way. So Orina at some point will share a PayPal link that we can all use, and there are bank transfer numbers too if you'd prefer this. And at some point she'll put up that screen. So please be sure to stay so you can see that. And with that, I'm going to mute myself and hand the microphone to my friend Orina. Dear Orina, please take over now. Thank you so much. And thanks everybody for being here.
Hello. Thank you, Jeff. I think I'm unmuted now. It's all good. Thank you for having us, and thank you so much for such a quick response. And I can see already you, and it's a great relief to feel that there's so many people around the world who are now joining us and willing also to listen to what is happening here. I hope I can tell you everything. Please forgive me if my English or anything is not perfect as it could be. We're really working hard these days. So I try to prepare as much as possible, but also I think at the end, if you have any questions, if there is anything we can tell you, I'll be very happy to also answer questions. There is my father, Andrzej, with you. I'm sure most of you know Andrzej. I don't know if you want to say something, Dad. No. Okay, so I'll just continue. But the link, obviously, just to tell you, the link is there, as Andrzej is Zen Peacemaker for such a long time and holding Kanzeon Sangha. There is also Asha, I think, with me today. Probably some of you might know Asha, who is with me in the foundation board. And we've been working really hard these past days together to get the supplies and help both to Ukraine and help in Poland. I think there's also maybe Krzysiek Nowinski, who is also in the foundation, but he had some meeting at the doctor. So I don't know if he's there, but some of us are there. And I'm also, I would be really happy if you would want to say something, Asha or Dad. So just let us know, or just unmute yourself if you want to add something to what I will be saying. So maybe just from the beginning, I would like to tell you and describe a little bit what have been happening here, and from our Polish perspective, being really close to the border and also experiencing such a flood of crisis happening. So I would tell you also what we are doing as a foundation and how we're trying to help. And at the end, I would really want to also share some pictures with you, just to show you really what we're doing and where the help goes. So as Jeff said, we are mainly focusing as a foundation on sending medical supplies to 2 Ukrainian hospitals that we are in direct contact with. And I will tell you in a second how it happened that we got in contact with them. And our second part of what we do is pretty much helping in any way we can refugees that are here already in Warsaw. There's so many of them. We created, or maybe the center, helping center created itself somehow out of people of goodwill and just the energy that was there. And we started to prepare sandwiches that were sent to train stations, to different train stations in Warsaw. And at the moment, it's really a help center where all the people, refugees, people in need can come and they receive help. So just to give you the background, what is happening, I'm sure you know, because it's the news around the world. But as for today, as I checked, Kiev, so the capital of Ukraine, is being really under attack and bombarded, and civilian buildings are being destroyed, hospitals are being bombarded and destroyed, and people are pretty much being trapped. So we also heard of humanitarian convoys that they have been shot. So it is not even safe anymore to leave shelters. There's some cities, Kharkov or Mariupol, that are facing really humanitarian crisis right now. They are cut off supplies, water, food, electricity. People are just trapped underground in the underground shelters. Yesterday, something that shocked all of us in Poland was also a news that maybe some of you also heard, that bombs fell on the International Center for Peace and Security, 20 kilometers from Polish border. You know, I can only say from what I feel every day since these 3 weeks. I have never experienced threat of war in my life as I am feeling right now, and it seems really realistic. And there is something very, very strong that is happening in Poland, because Ukraine and Poland, obviously, they're very brother, sister like countries, and the bond now is even stronger. The only difference is that we are in NATO and we are in European Union, and Ukraine is not. So seeing and experiencing this fight that is really solitary fight in some ways is really heartbreaking. So it's happening around the corner. And I think, as Jeff just said, just as in the introduction, when we were talking 2 weeks ago to set the date of this event, it was 600,000 refugees, so in the first week of war. And at the moment, it is already 1.8 million refugees in Poland already, and it is estimated that it's going to be 100,000 people crossing the border every day. And it is estimated that it is going to reach about 4 million refugees in such a short amount of time. And many of these people really have nothing with them, just one suitcase. Most of them reach Warsaw or other big cities. Train stations that some of maybe you who have been to Poland, maybe going to Krakow and Auschwitz retreat, or passing through Warsaw and have been to, for example, Central train station in Warsaw and remember it as it was. Honestly, it's not the same anymore. Train stations, they have become night shelters, and it's a really terrible view. And help is needed. I would say first aid help is needed over there 24 hours a day. On the other hand, something that happened in Poland that I feel is very unique is that really most of my friends opened their doors and are housing people. And this is a huge movement that is happening across Poland. Obviously, it can't go like this forever, but at the moment, this is, I think, how we cope. So really many of my friends have people in and are housing refugees. It's very difficult. I can tell you from the stories that I heard, one of my friends, for example, he has taken in him and his family. They took in 2 women and they gave them 3 rooms, so almost a separate apartment. And he said these two women, for the first days, they were sitting in one room with their curtains down, and they wouldn't leave this one room. Another of my friends, they have a big house, and they could take in quite a lot of people. They took in really big family. Grandmother, so an older lady, she wouldn't leave the basement. So there are stories like this. This is a huge trauma that we are just experiencing and seeing, and we will have to hold and help soften and go through. There's another story that I could tell you that I thought of today, because in this whole very difficult moment, there are beautiful moments that are also shared. One of my friends told me that his friend took a woman in, and she's 24 years old, and she has 2 kids. One is 5 years old and the other one is 5 months old. And one day, I don't know if you also have it, but it's 8th of March, it's International Day of, it's Women's Day. And this Polish friend, so the housekeeper, she received 2 bouquets of flowers, and they were sent by husband of this woman with 2 kids from Ukraine. So there are moments like this that really are heartbreaking and really touching in all this. To be honest, maybe most of us, I can only speak on from my own experience, but I have never experienced such openness and mobilization and also will to help among Polish people. And this is, I think, sorry, I can't. I think this is we can call it the biggest charity movements, at least of the times I can refer to. Really, everyone I know is involved in helping this way or the other. There's obviously NGOs really involved. So here I'm moving a little bit to what we are doing as a foundation. And different NGOs are helping in the field that they are experienced in or in the field of their knowledge. The problem is, you know, Poland is not a very rich country. That's first thing. It's maybe it hasn't been, it's not a secret. It hasn't been governed well these past years. And there is no resources also to hold such a help that is needed. So from our perspective, the only thing that we can do is to focus on the present moment and do everything we can to I don't know, to work collectively and do and try to help to win this as soon as possible, I hope. Otherwise, you know, I think humanitarian crisis is also hangs above Poland as well. So this is what I wanted to share a little bit. This is what I wanted to share with you from maybe a little bit bigger perspective or Poland's perspective. To tell you a little bit also what we are involved in as a foundation. Our foundation, I think you have a link on the right, or maybe not yet, to a presentation to a foundation, or we will put it afterwards, so you can read a little bit about what we do generally. I will just briefly tell you that we are involved in a field of holistic approach to health and integrative medicine. Oh, I can see it's there. Thank you. And we've been operating past 7 years and mainly focusing on health education and providing help to people in need, especially in field of oncological diseases and chronic diseases, also in prevention of these diseases. But everything changed 3 weeks ago because we started to be involved in the help that is needed right here and right now. The first collection of medical equipment was organized at the Museum of Modern Arts that we work in, we cooperate with. And it was very spontaneous. I think it was second day of war. And we knew that someone, a man, was going back to Kiev and would never turn back. And he knew already that there was medical equipment and medicine needed in Kiev. So we organized this very spontaneous collection of this equipment. And because so many people responded and came and donated things, we decided to continue with this movement. I don't know how it happened, but 2 days later, I received a phone call from volunteer of Armed Forces of Ukraine and Defense Forces of Ukraine, who I and also Krzysiek from the foundation, we have been in direct contact since then. Juliana, who we are in contact with, she works on behalf of Armed Forces of Ukraine and was appointed to find an organization, an NGO in Poland, to ask for direct help to bring most needed supplies, medicine, and equipment to hospital in Czerniowce, which is a city southern Ukraine. It's a military hospital And we have sent 4 direct transports over there already. 2 days later, I think that was already, I don't, almost 3 weeks ago. I don't know, or 3 weeks ago. So in the first week of war. 2 days later, we were in contact with another volunteer who works on behalf of Veterans Base Home, so a veteran hospital in Kiev. So at the moment, we are working with these 2 hospitals. We have sent, as I told you a second ago, 4 transports already, very direct ones, with medical supplies, equipment, first aid kits, bandages, all sorts of things that are needed and used as life-saving, really, equipment. And also things for quick surgeries. The transport are dedicated to saving lives of injured soldiers and also civilians. We also managed to send diabetic medicine to Children's Hospital in Kiev. We are working on behalf, I don't know if this is a correct word, but on the basis of letter that is being sent and is directly dedicated for our foundation from the regiment commander, Vasyl Rogatiuk, and it's the letter is issued directly to us, so it's very transparent. So each time we get updated list of needs from these hospitals, and we are trying to respond directly to these needs. So we are trying to buy from wholesalers the equipment. We are trying to also collect from the donors and from people who are just bringing in all stuff. We continue to use our social media, everything we can really to make it public. And in cooperation with the Museum of Modern Art, people are just bringing in supplies and packages there. And at the moment, we are able to send 1 transport a week. That's that long it takes for us to collect everything and also to order everything from wholesalers. What we are doing is we are getting medicaments and equipment and supplies. Then we are sorting, packing, describing everything what is being sent according to the list of needs. And then thirdly, we're organizing safe transport through the border, which is a difficult procedure, and also it is becoming very dangerous. So at the moment, we are working with a driver, a very amazing person who I will show you a picture of him later. And he managed to go the whole way across the border, reached the hospital in Czerniowce, left transport there, then met another volunteer who is supplying, taking care of supplies to Kiev. And on the way back, he took in people. So we're trying to also help in this way. So on the one hand, send things, and then on the other hand, also help people cross the border. The problem, I would say, is usually the equipment that is needed is a professional one. It is medical professional equipment. It is very expensive. The amount that is needed is way beyond our financial possibilities. Just to give you an example, we have in our foundation, I think we've gone through a course of quick course of needed medical first life-saving tactical tools. And what are they? I had no idea 3 weeks ago what would be, for example, tactical tourniquets or something like that. And for example, this is a life-saving tool that costs approximately 40 euro per piece. The amount that is needed in the hospital is, in one hospital, it's 2,000 pieces. And for the whole money at the moment that we had, buying all, additionally and other things, we could spend on these tactical tourniquets, we could spend about more than 2,000 euros, and we managed to buy 77 pieces. So this is a drop in the ocean, I would say. That was, and another problem is that that was 10 days ago, and we're still waiting to receive them because Poland is really empty of supplies. And we are waiting for them because they are because of custom duty. So I believe the only way is to really order bigger amount of things, organize bigger transports, and help these hospitals be secure for a longer time instead of sending what we can. We are sending what we can because there's no other way. When we found out that these 77 pieces would still be held on the border, Polish border, because of custom duty, I managed to buy 20 pieces. I think it was last pieces in Warsaw in medical shop. They were almost twice as expensive as the comparing to the ones that we ordered, and we had to divide them between these two hospitals. So we sent 10 to one hospital and 10 to another one. So you can imagine, it's not even it's not possible even to compare what we are what we can do at the moment and comparing to the needs, but we don't stop. So another thing I think that will be a rising problem also is the borders. We are at the moment, because of the letters and because it's very transparent, we are able to cross them, but we don't know for how long it will be possible, and it's very dangerous also. So we are trying to really push the process as fast as possible. And of course, every day, you know, I mean, 10 days at the custom office, maybe it's a regular procedure, but not when the war is happening and people are dying. So this is the perspective that we have now. Time just changed and flipped a little bit. What we do, we aim to continue the work that we do as long as it will be possible, and bigger scale, of course. The needs are rising, humanitarian crisis is deepening. I believe there is nothing else we can do except just doing and being and responding to whatever is. I would like to also tell you a little bit about the other part of our work that we are involved in. I am mostly involved in contact with the other side, so Ukrainian side and Ukrainian hospitals, and trying to get the supplies and meds. But there's a group of us, and we've been, it's almost like a family now. And I feel that we have been living these 3 weeks at the museum almost. We have been, as a foundation, working with the Museum of Modern Art. And I told you at the beginning, museum holds a space for us. And this is beautiful because we can store packages there, we can sort things there, and the transport are leaving from the museum. We are also working with the collective, artistic collective Bliskist, Polish Ukrainian collective. And another part of the work at the museum is something that was that just happened and was organized. It's we call it sandwich making station, where people just started to come and bring bread and tomatoes and whatever was needed, cucumbers, anything, and just make sandwiches for people in need. The museum is in very center Warsaw, so it's just maybe 200-300 meters from the central train station of Warsaw. So we started with just making sandwiches to just bring them to the train station to people who are there. And I told you how it looks like in sometimes terrible states. At the moment, we are making almost 2,000 sandwiches a day, and we're delivering them a few times a day to different train stations of Warsaw. I don't know also how it happened that many refugees started to come to this center that we have. Sometimes mother with children. So a little children's corner created itself. I will show you pictures in a second also. So it became a place, a bridge place, I would say, for us, people who are just wanting to help, and also refugees who are coming or sometimes asking for simple questions, like a man who saw a flag because we have painted the whole place, and you can see that there is it's clearly a place, a helping center. So a man came once in and he wouldn't speak Polish or English, but we managed to find him a hostel for free, and he was waiting for his wife and children who were still at the border. And the fear that is really seen in people's eyes is heartbreaking. And we can feel it here in Poland. I can only imagine what is happening, in Warsaw. I can only imagine what is happening at the borders. From my own heart, I can only say that helping community is, I feel, is the only chance, and I'm really experiencing it right now, and I'm sure that many of us from the foundation feel the same. I don't know if there is anything else I can tell you right now in this moment, or maybe you have some questions. I could share some pictures with you right now to show you.
Orina?
Yeah.
As a suggestion, because it's possible some people may need to leave early.
Yeah.
If you can show the blue slide first,
Sure.
and then we can show it again at the end, just to make sure that everybody gets to see the details on how they can support your work.
Thank you. Thank you. Is it fine?
That's good.
Sorry.
And for those in the U.S., I can confirm that the PayPal works because I used it and it worked. So
as for needs, I think I told you that we are getting the supplies, and we are getting meds from the wholesalers and equipment. On the other hand, we are trying in any way we can to help people that are coming to Warsaw without sometimes without anything, with one suitcase, without any money, any food, anything with them. So, and if you can imagine, 1.8 million is the amount for now, but it is estimated to be 4 million people. Okay. I will come back to the slide maybe later, and I will show you pictures. So this is our transport in Kiev, delivered. This is packages with supplies, with equipment. I'm sorry. This is in Czerniowce. This is the commander I think I told you about, who we are working the list from him on behalf list of his list. This is also commander of armed forces who appointed a volunteer who contacted us, and this is our transport also in the hospital. This is our list, also confirmed by photo, that we always prepare lists of packages, so both in Polish and Ukrainian. So this is a picture that confirms that it has been delivered. This is, I think it's in Kiev. This is in Czerniowce. This is also officer from the army that is responsible for medical supplies. This is another transport. This is our driver I told you about, this is our recent transport. It was maybe 3-4 days ago. And this really brave man went the whole way and then took people back to Poland when he was coming back. And he will be going back on Friday again. This is at the children's wing of the hospital. We were also sending some Pampers and some diapers. I think this is the name. This is the hospital. This is the veterans base home in Kiev, the hospital, another hospital that we're sending. This is a list, our letter from in Ukrainian from the commander. This is again in Kiev. In Kiev, also delivering. This is another volunteer, the Kiev volunteer, Zhenya, who are we in contact with? This is us sending the packages. And I want to show you a little bit from what we do. So this is us packing first aid kits because they were not available in Poland anymore. So we were doing everything we could to collect as many simple, very, very basic things like bandages and things like these, and then packing them in single plastic bags. So as far as I know from the messages that we got from the other side, is that they were given also to soldiers because they have nothing with them. So they were given with them. So this is us packing. This is the center. This is our helping center at the Museum of Modern Arts. This is us with the first, I think, transport. This is it's a picture that we got, and it's something that is needed so much. Tactical first aid kit, very, very rare in Poland. So we are trying to get them from abroad, and it's an expensive thing. Like this single thing, this is this tactical tourniquet I told you about that costs, single thing costs 40 euros. The whole thing costs from 60 euros up, I think, depending what is inside. And they need a few thousand of them. This is us packing. So usually we have one day of sorting and packing and describing what is in the packages. This is Museum of Modern Art that became a helping center. This is the little corner, kids corner, that also I told you about. This is a list in Polish, but the list from the commander dedicated to our foundation. Also packages. This is the transport a few days ago. I think it was on Thursday. On Thursday? Yeah, I think on Thursday it left. On Friday it reached hospitals. This is us. This is the list that is needed of equipment and things that we translated to English. This is the newest list of hospital needs. So I just made this slide just to tell you how it changes. Some things are in constant need, some things are new each week. So we're trying to respond as fast as we can. The other thing I wanted to show you how these, just very briefly, this sandwich station works. And this is us. And at the end, I don't know if we have time. I'm sorry, I don't even know how long I'm talking. I would like to just show you, I just downloaded some photos of how Warsaw looks like right now, and also from my friends from Instagram who are helping in any way they can. So this is, I don't know if you've seen that picture. This is train station, not in Poland, it's in Kharkov, a city in Ukraine, and this is people leaving. This is Warsaw right now, and I have to tell you that Ukrainian flag, I think it's even more common now than Polish flag right now. This is a train station in Warsaw. This is in Lvov. It's my friend's photo, and he was helping to organize transports of people to send and help them cross border. This is in Warsaw. It's a temporary shelter at the stadium, I think. And I found also this is Ukrainian-Polish border at the moment. So this is how it looks like. If there is any questions, if there is anything, happy to answer. I hope I covered most of the topics.
And Orina, I can help with questions. If anybody has a question, we have 4 screens, so I can't see everyone's hand. But if you go to reactions, under reactions at the bottom. There's raise hand. And Myoho, you've raised your hand already. Thank you so much. Go ahead and please. It looks like you've unmuted already. So thank you for your question.
Hello, Orina. I almost in tears, so I don't really know how to talk. But I lived and worked in Ukraine and in Poland, both from the early 90s, actually for about a decade. And I have about 20 or so friends who also did the same thing. A couple of them are still in Ukraine, in Ivano-Frankivsk. And as you probably know, they've actually not experienced, they have had a few bombings, but nothing significant. And so my friends are housing, just like you are in Poland, along with their neighbors, a lot of refugees early on from the East and now from pretty much anywhere. They can help a lot. I've been sending them a lot of money. Of course, they know the needs of the military and they know the needs in Kyiv because most of us know a lot of people there. So I leave that with you. The other thing is one of the folks that was with us for a very long time is in Denver. I'm in Fort Collins, Colorado, by the way, is in Denver. And Perry and his partner were there for, I don't know, 20 years. And they have set very quickly up a group that's called Denver Helps Kyiv, which is sending a lot of stuff and managing to get a lot of, especially orphanage kids into Italy or Spain or wherever they can get them to. I don't know how Perry's doing it. It's like magic. But it's like you, it's all, I mean, it's just, anyway, there's also several large military installations in the state who I have a suspicion would be able to get us those tourniquets, at least get them to us with, maybe they wouldn't be free, I don't know, but they shouldn't be what they cost you to get. And then of course the questions which Perry may be able to answer are how to get them over. I mean, they got to go through customs, I know that, but at least get them over there so that they can come in quicker. So I have all those things and I will send you an email that so we can talk directly. And in addition, my heart is so broken, I would come in a nanosecond. My Ukrainian is a little weak now, but it would get strong quickly. And I don't know. I don't want to be a burden and I don't want to take anybody's bed. I can bring my sleeping bag and sleep on the floor, but anything I can do. Strengthen my Ukrainian by playing with children. I don't know. I would come in a heartbeat.
I think it's a long-term situation because everything changed. You know, I feel that from our Polish perspective, I think something changed and something changed forever because most of people will have to stay because they will have nowhere to go back to. At the moment, because our foundation is as usually it focuses on also long-term perspectives like bringing complementary treatment to oncological treatment and focusing on integrative medicine. We have thought of programs, of course, helping refugees and helping people in such a deep trauma. I have a feeling that right now is getting the basic needs because we have to feed them. We have to, I don't know, make sure that everyone is first of all safe, and then try to, I don't know, live together. So I'm sure that support will be, any support will be needed, and also, you know, big hearts because people are really also tired and will be getting tired of helping like this in longer terms. So I thank you.
The other thing I would add is I happen to be a Roshi Joan at Upaya trained chaplain and a Red Cross first aid trained person.
Oh.
So I have these weird bundle of stuff that, but I will put that in an email and we can talk further.
Okay, thank you so much.
Thank you, Myoho. And I chatted earlier, if the blue slide that Orina shared that has the bank transfer information and the PayPal, if you haven't been able to copy that down, send an email to me, GEOFF at zenpeacemakers.org, and I'll send you that slide, and it'll make it a lot easier. Also, Myoho, someone asked for the name of the organization in Denver. Okay, you got that. Thank you very much. Vicky Dunn, you have your hand up, please, and maybe you can turn your camera on if it works. We can see you.
Sure. Hi. I was the one asking about contact info for people in Denver because I live in Colorado. And also I was wondering, is anybody that you know of like collecting clothing? I know we're a long ways away, but there's got to be an outstanding need for clothes. All these people who had to evacuate with next to nothing, and for kids and whatever. Is somebody doing that?
I believe that Denver Helps Cave is doing that, but I would think that Catholic Charities and other folks are doing it, and they may be able to ship in larger, containers or whatever than Perry. But I will send Perry a note, and I will also, if it's okay with you, Orina, give Perry your contact information so he can be in direct contact with what you might be able to do with the military here and other.
Okay. Thank you.
Sorry, I am getting Perry's contact. It's just taking me a minute to get to the right screens.
Okay, thank you. Thank you. Anyone else have a comment or a question? Please go ahead and raise your electronic hand.
Jeff, I have a question.
Is that Anita? I see you. Yes. Thanks, Anita.
Yeah, is there any way you could help us save the chat? Because there's so much good stuff in there and I'm unable to save it. I don't see the save function that's normally there.
We'll send out an email with all the contact information and links.
Thanks.
Okay, that's great. Yeah, and I guess I want to voice my support. I'm a Polish Jew, and I was born in Poland, and my family comes from Lviv, and I guess I just put my support out, and I feel kind of helpless at this point. It's another war, and more, another war. But I guess as long as we're all tuned into one another, maybe some enormous wave of transformation may occur. So that's what I have to say. Thank you.
Thank you, Anita. Zenki, I see you have your hand up. Go ahead and please unmute.
Thank you so much. And thank you, Orina, for all the great work that you're doing. What I'm wondering is, do you need like American representatives that can help you here in the States, either procure stuff that you need or anything, as a representative here in the States? Do you need people like that? I know, of course, money, but somebody mentioned, clothing, if you needed somebody to organize a clothing drive or anything like that. Do you need stuff like that?
Thank you.
Sure. Mm-hmm.
To be honest, I feel because I can direct if there is anyone who wants to help in collecting clothing or other things. They're also very needed because obviously we have to now equip people who are just coming and starting to live here without anything. But we as a foundation, we are small. We can take everything on our hands. So we are trying to focus on the medical equipment and medical supplies in Ukraine, and both also help medically. This is also in perspective, but also help medically refugees who come to Poland. So to answer your question, I believe that yes, we would definitely. Just referring also to what we were talking before, maybe direct contacts to these, because these tourniquets that we ordered, I know that they are shipped or they fly from the States and they got stuck in this custom duty. So maybe direct contacts to these very specific equipment would be a great help. We would have to probably check about the procedures sending these things through the border, but I'm sure we can do that. We're trying to think as short way as possible. So of course, getting the way shorter, it means making it faster.
Orina, could you somehow supply your email so that I can get in touch with you directly?
Yeah, I will write down in chat.
Thank you, Zenki, and thank you, Orina. Claire, you have your hand up, please. Thank you.
Hello.
Hello.
Thank you all. I live in Ireland and appreciate this if we can all transform together. I'd specifically ask, are there any messages that we can pass on to our governments so that strategically people can change from military to peacekeeping? There's so many organizations military-wise who have such brilliant organizational skills if they can just change direction and go peacekeeping. And globally, if I'm asking our own government to be as authentic as possible in what is happening globally, so that if each government, if each leader could become neutral and work from a peacekeeping place. So that's my wish. And any practical actions that we can do to influence leaders to listen to each other, to be very skillful in listening to the languages that each are using in a way. So I wish you well, and I'll keep practically working with you. Yeah.
Thank you, Claire. Peter and Ara, you have your hand up. Thank you very much.
Yeah, hi, Orina. Hi, Andrzej. Two things. This group sometimes has surprising connections in the world. You never know. But we might be able to find large quantities of various things, but the bottleneck seems to be in getting them into the country. So I don't know, maybe maybe through the existing suppliers, wholesale suppliers would be the way to go, fastest way. So you might do a little research and provide us with the names of those suppliers. So
Sure.
yeah, understand? That's important. And the other thing is the long run. From what you said, the people hiding in the rooms, that's terrible. But this particular group does have some skills in the art of listening. And in the long run, maybe that's a way we can be useful in the future, because the psychological aspect of the wounds are going to live on. And maybe in the coming months, it's a way we can.
Thank you.
Thank you, Peter. Kathleen Hoetsu in Germany. Thank you.
Hello, thank you, Jeff and Orina, for everything. And this, what I wanted to ask you, Orina, fits exactly to what Peter just said. So my question is, how is direct psychological help organized? Are there organizations who can give first aid to traumatized people at the moment? I'm thinking of the spiritual emergency network that exists. And also what Peter said. So maybe, we can also might offer counsels or support in that way.
Thank you. As I told you, we have that. It is part of our work, so to say, on daily basis in foundation, also providing psychological group, as we hold support groups for usually cancer patients or patients. And there's some people and psychologists and also trauma workers who already offered their help. So I think in a little bit longer term, it will be necessary to transform maybe this help that we do now into like focusing and stepping maybe more into that. I feel at the moment that was so much work and energy is just trying to hold whatever is happening. But I heard on news, I heard this one psychologist, Ukrainian psychologist, who was talking because she is a refugee herself, and she said she's trying now to help other refugees, and she said at the moment what she's doing, she's just breathing with people on the phone.
Yeah.
Wonderful. Thank you, Orina.
Mhm.
Chris, you have your hand up, please.
Yes. Hi. Thank you, Orina, for your presentation and your all your efforts. I have a couple questions. One, I'm wondering about resettlement of refugees. And I know some countries have opened their doors. Britain has offered 100,000, hosting 100,000 refugees. I'm just curious about your perspective on it, because I know some of the refugees want to stay close to Ukraine and to stay home, close to home. But at some point, and do you see any need for any housing like in the US or other countries to relieve some of the burden in Poland?
It's hard to say for so many people, what's their plan. I think most of people will stay in Poland and will want to stay in Poland as it's first close. I heard from many of my friends who are housing people, most of refugees, they continue to be prepared to go back in 2 weeks. So I think this is a moment where still the hope of very quick returning to Ukraine is a perspective. I believe it's not going to be possible for many of these people because you can see on the news how destroyed these cities are, and I have no idea. It would have to be checked because I know that some people are going through, just passing through Poland and going to other countries like Germany or France or wherever. The thing with Poland is that many Ukrainians have been in Poland or worked in Poland before the war. So many people from the, I'd say maybe first flood of refugees had friends or family here. I think now we are getting into this critical moment of just people coming with nothing with them and really not knowing where to go. We would probably have to check how, I have no idea what are the legal, with the states, for example, or other countries, non-European Union countries. So that would have to be checked, but thank you very much. And I think it's worth checking because we're getting, I mean, I can speak for myself, but every day I'm getting news like we're looking for a house for someone, and it just spreads around, and everyone is looking, and suddenly it's possible. But it's obvious that many of the houses are already busy.
The other thing I wanted to ask about was, from my understanding, that your government is not providing that much help. It's mainly citizens. Can you comment on that? Or?
Well, it's getting on the political arena, but so I can tell you how it looks like from inside, because it's chaos, obviously. From my perspective, as People's Movement is a charity movement at the moment, mainly. So there was an appeal from the government maybe 1 week ago to hold with individual collection of medicine, because people were buying so many things out of pharmacies that really pharmacies were getting empty. So so there was this call, this appeal, and we as a foundation, we decided to go with this appeal. So we moved more from medicine more to equipment, because we were convinced, and we stayed with the hospitals that we are in contact with, because we wouldn't like to just abandon them. So the appeal from the government said there's going to be a central, like a centralization of these collections. So they would send these supplies through the central, so to say, like a center, to probably a magazine in Lvov, and then distribute it. We have been, yesterday even, I had a meeting with this very, I don't even know how to say, it's like a body of pharmacy that's oh sorry, it's hard for me to explain what it is, but it's an organization between government and NGOs, very big one. And they confirmed that this central body that was created is not working in any way. It just doesn't work. So the needs sent 10 days ago to them still are there. They haven't sent any help yet because of the bureaucracy, because of the problems on the way, because of the getting things. So to be honest, I believe, I mean, politics are aside now. I don't like, as for us, if help is provided, we will do everything to cooperate. But if it's not, and if it gets stuck because of papers and because of, I don't know, just lack of possibilities, we continue to do the work we do.
Thank you.
Thank you, Chris. We have a few more people with hands up, so we'll try to keep moving here a little bit. Lydia, you have your hand up patiently. Thank you.
Yeah, I'm Lydia from Berlin, and I took two of the refugees to my house, and I just wanted to share the heartbreaking moments with you, because we're crying every morning.
Thank you, Lydia.
Thank you.
Monsieur Dubois, you have your hand up.
Yes, my dear Orina, I just wanted you to know that the organization with which you distributed meals, l'un et l'autre, is also providing meals to Ukrainian right now. Where Emmanuel, whom you have met, is now in charge of providing 4,000 meals in Paris every day. He works for, he's head of several organizations of the Salvation Army, and I want you to know that you are in my heart. You are in our heart. I can speak for Catherine. I can speak for Emmanuel, and I will take my phone and make a few phone calls to find medical supplies. I have a friend. I think we can. I believe he can help, and I will give him your email. So just giving love from Paris.
Thank you, Michel. Sending love to Paris.
Merci, Michel. Monica, please. Hi.
Hi, Orina. I'm so impressed, and we did not know before, but I can assure you that we pray every day for our Polish sisters and brothers as well. So I could imagine something, but I didn't imagine how it is really. So thank you so much for your report. It's really heartbreaking, and the pigs and the work and everything. And I know myself, I have to think a bit through the stuff now. But what I already see is that I have 3 contacts with single people, but with logistics. So they have cars, bigger cars or so, and they are going at the moment to Moldavia or to the borders and pick up the people in the nights, during the nights, and bring, let's say, a stuffed buses to Germany. And so what I see is a small circle to be in connection with these people and to connect with your small group, so that we can perhaps provide you with medical stuff you need. It was too little, I understood that, and also to concentrate on just this. And I also see something like, and what I really love to do is helping the helpers, because I'm not firm in those languages. And so let's be in contact with this. And I'm in Bonn helping the Ukrainians coming here. But it's still very fresh, so I cannot say much. Only this hopeful news that this morning I sat with a young guy who said he has opened his apartment to Ukrainian refugees, and we were very moved about how much courage he found in himself. And I will write to my people, and I will tell them what you reported to us. So thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, Monica. Robert, please. Thank you.
I can't hear.
Robert, I think you're still muted. There you
Hi. If you haven't done so already, is it possible to work through the Polish Red Cross?
We haven't because it's an organization, really big organization. So we have our own. So this is the way it's just was. I don't know. It just happened. That's you know.
I noticed on Fox News and on CNN that actually a friend of mine was instrumental in getting it done. That there's a banner that came out asking for donations. It's millions of dollars going to the Red Cross. So I'm sure there's money that's going over there, and it may be able to get some of the supplies that they have for your needs, because it's really for everybody's needs.
Yeah. Thank you. Thank you. I think this is also a good idea to get, of course, that net connection that is happening anyways between foundations and between organizations to help each other. I know that it's on our topic also in the foundation. There is a Ukrainian, it's called Ukrainian House in Poland that raised I think 10 million zlotych right now, and they have been operating for years now. So that was the first organization that was really supported. So we thought also of course, maybe asking them to, I don't know, to have some of the money, you know, how do you say, able to spend on the equipment that is needed in the hospitals. I don't know if possible. But.
Thank you. Marcia, you have your hand up. Thank you.
Yes, hi. Can you hear me?
Very well. Nice to see you. Thank you.
Okay, beautiful to see you. Beautiful to see everyone. And Orina, beautiful to be with you. I listened carefully. I'm taking it in, and I'm in New York City, and I'm going to act along with Zen Peacemakers and everything else that I've heard today. And I just send you my love and strength.
Yeah.
Be well.
Much. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Okay. Thank you, everyone. And we know we have quite a wide time zone disparity. It's later in Europe. And Orina shared when we began that she's very tired. So we want to be kind with her time, and perhaps we'll end questions here. And if we can, if I can do this without crying, may all beings be happy. May all beings be safe. May all beings be healthy. May all beings be at ease. May all beings have a clean environment. May all beings be free from violence and political oppression. And for the sake of all beings, may we all be realized together. Thank you, everyone, for being here. If there's any information that you missed, again, feel free to email to me, GEOFF, like my name is spelled, at Zen Peacemakers with an S, peacemakers.org, not com.org. And I'll try to share whatever I can with you. And we so appreciate your time, your attention, your love, your questions, and your support for Orina and Andre, and Christoph, I know, is on here somewhere too. And Asha is helping, and all the people who are helping do this essential work. So thank you for your support, and we'll see you next time.